Greetings, everybody out there. Greetings, everybody, to the live show that we're doing out here. This is actually the first show that we do on this page. This page used to be a Bitcoin and all the other stuff I was doing on there, but I redesigned everything and made it streamlined. Did the entire thing, doing a really good job, I think. And I think people told me I did a good job, but so anyway, this is basically a site for you guys who are not the pros when it comes to all this, and some of you pros may actually be confused by now. Some of the stuff out there going on in crypto land, going on in the fork markets, going on in trading, option market, all the good stuff I covered. I try to cover the gambit when it comes to all this. I am not one of these crazy experts who know it all. I don't. All right. But I do communicate pretty good with the layman and trying to get them to understand on how things work in this kind of crazy market and how not to get burned. Burn, baby, burn. Try not to get burned out there. There's some serious problems out there. If you guys can just make sure you subscribe to the channel, because as this goes on, as these videos get going here, because I'll probably be making a lot of these videos during the time the markets are open and people are confused out of their yings, you could say, out of their mind, out of their galls. They're just totally confused. So I will be making some videos and in this stuff and all kind of goody stuff here I'll be doing for you guys, and I'll be talking about and answering some of you guys' questions if I can answer it. I'll try what I can. But here's the thing about all this. Here's what we're going to do today before I get carried away here. We're going to be looking at the Bitcoin, and I'm going to be telling you what direction they may be going and what direction they may not be going. And I got one of the charts here, and I got other charts. I got lots of charts, except I can't fit it all into this one little screen, all the stuff that I got here. But we got this one little main chart that I can work with and do some stuff on there. I can show you guys what we're going here. This is a live short of Bitcoin. This is supposed to be a live short of Bitcoin, and information is coming in on the Bitcoin. I got the 15-minute short on here. Yeah, 15-minute shorts on there, so you guys can check it out on there. But this is what we're doing there. It's we're going to be looking at the direction things are going in all these markets, and like I said, well, I'll be doing any kind of markets, pretty much, and different things. You guys ask, and I'll look into it. Maybe we'll look into other stuff. And don't forget always to support the channel with your Bitcoin donations or your PayPal donation. Right there, you have the QR code, so you can scan it into your phone and just make a small little deposit there for donations for your PayPal or Bitcoin, and it all helps out the channel. Yeah, so let's get going. Don't forget to subscribe and likes and all that kind of stuff. So let me look at here where we're at here today. What are we showing? Here's the thing about on Saturdays, I could do a lot of this Bitcoin stuff because the rest of the markets is closed. You don't have no FOREX. You don't have no Dow Jones or anything like that. You just have basically is what you got is the Bitcoin markets is the ones you basically got open a lot of things. So let me go here and look at what we're doing here. Hang on one second. That's right. I'll leave you there. I'm going to look at that market. That is, like I say, is live. But I'm going to go check my other. I got other screens that I don't have on here. Okay, so just let me go look at that stuff, and then I'll pull some of them. I'll put some information that I think that I'm thinking that we're going to go in this direction here. Let's go look here. Where am I here? You guys can't see what I'm looking at right now, but I'm looking at some stuff here. Let me see here. What can we do? Okay. Oh. That's strong. It's going to be a strong down pull here. I think there's going to be a pretty strong down pull here in the next 15 minutes for Bitcoin. We're looking possibly a good drop. Not a good powerful drop, but it's going to be a drop. There are my indicators from my other charts. Those indicators are my indicators, and I never shared those indicators. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. Too many people out there. I worked too hard for 20 years, more than 20 years, developing my own stuff and trying to keep some of my stuff here. But I share what I can with you guys to help you out. This is why I'm out here. I'm not here to be your enemy or anything. I'm out here to help. All right, but we're going to have to be looking at some stuff here. Okay, I see where we're going at here with this chart, and it's not good. It's not good if you don't have a put call. You're not able to make put calls on your Bitcoins. All right, here we go. Let me go back over here. Okay. Alrighty now. Oops. Lost my stuff there. Okay. Okay, dokie. There you go. All right, what do I see here? What's happening here? Let me pull out my drawing device, my drawing. And what you see is you got this downward pull here. All right, on the chart. All right, and then it's basically the trend. What you got is let me put this other one on there. All right, you got this happening here on there. Okay. Now, from what I can see, from my side, you can say from my indicators and other things that I see this is actually going to be in the next 15 minutes. There's going to be a pretty good pull here towards the downside. How far is it going to go? That's all depends on the market. All right, it has hit resistance levels. Okay, we're hitting the resistance level up here on the market. Okay, now there is a resistance from what I see. Now I'm not going to get into this head and shoulder thing, the W's and the wedge and all that. It's all good. That's all good for beginners and all that kind of stuff. And in real life, true investors are not counting on this stuff. Trust me. Okay. But I'll give you some of my stuff that I can get. I'll give you what I can. All right. But this stuff, yeah, it's all known. Here's the thing about it. When you know about all those little, you could say patterns, so does the market makers, all right, and people in the big banking business. They know that you know about it, so they play games with you, and you got to be aware of the games, people. All right, this is not as clean cut as many people think it is in all these markets. It's not. You got a lot of investors, and you got the big institutions always playing games. Okay, so you got some resistance over here. All right, right now it's on the way down. From down here, it's been going down, but you got a little bit of resistance there, but it doesn't mean that's going to be there. And you got a little bit of resistance. You got the other level of resistance down here. All right, so we got two resistance there. I don't want to fill this up with a bunch of lines, but I got to do what you got to do here, people. All right, so we're going to put another line here. All right, and we're not going to go crazy. There's all these lines. They want to confuse the crap out of you, is what it is. All right, you got resistance here. You actually got three resistance going for you here. All right, you see the resistance. You can kind of see what's going on here with all these resistance here. You got this one resistance down there. All right, you got this one right about here, which is a bit of resistance, and then you got this one built up, and this is the stronger resistance. All right, now actually the pretty strong one is the one down here. All right, this is where it begins to. This is where people get into a panic. All right, anything underneath 19,000, going into 18,000 people, like, oh my God, what do we do now? But what you got is some of the institutions are they save it in some way. So some of the big whales come in and they throw in their money in there, and they just rise back the other direction. All right, it's what you got going on there. No, so it's got a little, it's a scary area. Because if it continues to break through the 19,000, it's going to go down. Possibly you're looking at another thousands here. You may be looking at getting down to 15,000, and that's when people really going to pull their hairs literally out of their heads. Those who have invested way up there. Can Bitcoin recover? Hard to tell. Right now, I'm kind of giving you what's going on in the next 15 minutes, and I see a lot of stuff happening here in the next 15 minutes with this stuff. I see a downward trend. Let me check out my other charts here. Okay, I cannot see it from there. I don't have those charts open on there. All right, so let me just take a look, see over here, see where we're at. Okay, see if anything, because those are the ones making the big move. This here is just for me to write and get you some stuff, even though that chart is real, but it's not my other charts that I use. All right, so let me just go in there and look at here what's going on. Okay, so what do I see here? Okay, yeah, it's going to make its move on a you could say downward move. It's going to make that move. All right, it is going to come down. All right, so it's almost like, it cannot be stopped. So there will be a move downwards right now, but it could be I see one of the candlesticks At least that short, the other short you have there doesn't show it, but my other short does show it. And it's kind of level off. And this could be a temporary where it actually goes sideways. Maybe maybe one more candlestick. Maybe it'll go sideways before it'll drop there. All right, so that's where it's at there. But a lot of my stuff is showing that. Remember, my stuff is from years of experience, and like I say, I don't deal with a lot of the stuff out there that common people deal with, and that's why beginners have to watch out for a lot of this BS that they feed you. Okay, and a lot of these places, and a lot of people that begin trading, they lose tons of money. Tons and tons and tons of money. All right, they take all these courses, they follow, they think they know, they discover slight spread because somebody told them how to do it, and they get burned. All right, just happens, all right. It sounds like a Johnny Cash song or something. But they do, and I hate to see it. There's a lot of people there with just a little bit of money, and they try to get into the markets, and they get burned by the market, and all these big fat, super banks and super people with the big bucks, they laugh it up as they burn you with, they burn your stuff down. All right, because they play games. They know what people are teaching out there. They know what are they looking at. So they know, and they have what they call they have these algorithms. They already have made programs for these big cats. So they know the algorithms are fed the information of what the average investor may be looking at any given time. So and then they can manipulate. They'll say, well, let's make a wedge. And we know we're going to drive money pretty soon by creating a wedge. So they create a wedge for you, which is basically a trap. Or they'll create a heads and shoulders for you just to give you that appearance that something big's about to happen. And they burn you. So that's why, how the heck did I get burned? I thought I followed all the instructions from the guy who told me this is what I got to do, and I got burned. Well, that's what it is, people. Oh, that's the way it is. When it comes to money, corruption just goes a long way. Trust me, it does, man. It's just really bad. It's extremely bad out there when it comes to all this stuff. So I'm doing here's what I'm giving you from. That's why I don't want to give them the indicators. I don't even want these clowns knowing what the heck I'm using and what I do and what I build and what I put together, because I put my own stuff together. All right, so let them continue to guess. How do I know what may be next? But we're looking at a downward swing here, and we may go sideways there a little bit before we go down, but we'll see. But it's showing like an 80% chance downward swing. You'll never hear me say 100% on anything, all right? Because just the way the market is. But this is pretty strong when I'm telling you 80%. I'm telling you it's showing a pretty good downward swing here, possibly for the next couple, maybe next 2 15-minute sessions. You could say 30 minutes, or maybe going up to 45 minutes. You may be seeing the next couple candlesticks on the 15-minute charts. You may be seeing some downswings here happening on here. Now here's the thing about it. They know about it. Okay, those big investors, the institutions, they know they were expecting downswing here for the next possibly 45 minutes. All right, so they got to be careful here on what they're going to be planning next. All right, because they may decide to play a game with you, and all of a sudden they'll pick it up. All right, and it's all about the way they manipulate stocks and the way they take money. All right, so we got to be careful here. Okay, but right now what I'm seeing is if it stays going as it is, we're looking at a downswing here in the next 15 minutes. You'll see it going down. All right, and 15 going out to about 45 minutes. You'll see it going down. And then I got like I said, I got stuff that's showing me it's not. I got layers and layers of stuff that tells me, and then I have to compare those layers with each other, you could say, and see what's clear. It's almost like I look at forecasting trends and what a stock or a crypto is going to do, or option, whatever. It's like trying to forecast a hurricane. All right. And if you guys ever lived out in Florida, which I do, all right, I can tell you right now, the software is getting better, the information is getting better, the data is getting better. So, but still, you got multiple you could say software being run, programs being run, and in other words, to narrow it down to where they think the hurricane or the storm's going to get in or what's going to affect it. This is basically what I do. All right. And I don't go because passive history that this is going to do this or that's going to do that. Sometimes that's not the way it works. And also, I always got to put, you always got to put in the back of your mind that if you know it, they know it. If you see something going up, or stock, or bonds, or whatever the heck, not, but let's say stocks and or options or crypto going up or down in a direction you think is positive, that you actually put some money to go in that one direction, all right, they also know where you're going with it, and they're always waiting out. They're waiting or waving, you could say, what is the investment, how much money is in there. And they see, here's the thing about them, they know exactly how much money everybody's putting into the pot. You don't. All right, and then they know which way they want to take it. All right, so we're actually not just going against smaller time investors. You're going against the big cats, and the big institutions got the information that you're never going to have unless you belong to Illuminati family or something along those lines. You're not going to get this stuff. All right, so we have to kind of figure them out. All right, or try to make our own stuff, like I've done for a couple of years now, where I'm not depending, because I know that they're looking at us when we're looking at heads and shoulders, and we're looking at wedges, and we're looking at a lot of these little, you could say, stuff that may tell you in which direction the market will go, and 90% of those indicators out there don't do much of anything. And they're based basically on 4 or 5 standard indicators, and they're not doing much of anything. They know it. All right, they know what to play with, so you gotta be careful with them when you're playing that. Okay, so we're showing, like I said, the next candlestick is just broken for me, and like I said, it was gonna go sideways because the previous one candlestick that I was looking at was telling me that this was gonna go sideways for a bit. So maybe we're looking at another, because it's not a strong candlestick. You might be looking at another sideward candlestick on there. Gotta be careful here, because this is when they start playing the little games. They know that a lot of people are expecting downward motion right now on these candlesticks. All right, so we're looking, but there are several. It's waving. It's weight. There's a lot of weight right now to go south. So you get to go down. There's a lot of weight. There's a lot of weight. There is a resistance level that they're running into, and then because even though the big cats, they get into the business, they get into this thing, they're playing games, they'll run into some problems too once in a while. Okay, they'll run into some problems, they'll play some games, and it really works against them. All right, so right now we're holding steady there. All right, so you may see a couple of moves here on candlesticks. All right, going, you could say, stay leveling off, and not doing much, just pretty much going sideways here. All right, but that's, if it stays like it is, I can't give you much because my indicator is not going to go all the way out to the future of tomorrow. But like I said, if it stays as it is and it's moving, some of my stuff the way it's moving, it's possibly you're looking at a movement there towards going down again, and it's going to, and maybe looking at testing those levels, the lower 19s. All right, we're going to be looking at close to 19,150 or 19,000 and 19,050 or something like that. It's going to go down. All right, down there. I don't know if it's going to go back and test the 18,000 levels right now. I mean, down there in 18. It may go down there and go down beyond 19,000 down to 18. All right, but like I said, they're going to prop it up a little bit. Right now, it's been doing a bit of a sideward motion here for quite a few hours now. It's bouncing off, from around 19,000 all the way up to 19,000 and around 300, 200 something. Okay, it's what it's bouncing. It's staying within a range, you could say. It's basically ranging is what it's doing. All right, but there are people still want to push it one way or the other, and we'll see what happens here. The weekends can be volatile sometimes. It can be kind of crazy. You have all kind of players in the weekend, and it could go really crazy on a lot of this currency. Let me see what we got here. Let me get back to my other map here because I've been looking at one of my other maps, and we're gonna look at that. Hang on here. Okie dokie. Yeah, here we go. Okie do. Okay, let me see here. Oh, like I said, let me grab one of these lines. You guys have been know it's been going down, and I think let me clear out some of this stuff here for now. I'll just pull them here to the side because I use them for other stuff. You guys know that it's been like a bit of a long. These are support levels that I got here on here. All right, but here is what I'm talking about. All right, about this. Let's see here. I was gonna go to a different color. That's all the colors I have. I don't have any other colors on. Okay, so we're looking at this here. All right, there you go. There we go. Making a move. I told you we went to two bars, and now let me go look at it because it's kind of possibly going to make us move down. And I tell you, my indicators are giving like around 80% chance that there will be a move downwards. That's what my stuff is telling me. All right, and let me go back to because I just seen that little move, and that's maybe somebody getting ready to make something out of this. Okay. All right, so either we're looking at this right now, something like a move like in this area right here. All right, and now let me pull this one up, and we're looking at the possibility of a move like here. This move here, I'm giving that around 30%. It'll continue to go sideways, about 40% going sideways. And I'm giving it around between 60 to maybe I can say a 75% that it will go down on there. I'm giving you some percentage so you get an idea. Alright, so it could start swinging in this direction here. Alright, depending on how they're gonna work. Remember, we're dealing with the minds of other people in here who are playing games, who constantly playing with the crowd, you could say, on how they're going to play them. Alright, so they know there were, because of some stuff out there, it's indicating that this seems to be indicating there's going to be a pull down. It's going to be a drop. Alright, so they know that. So they're going to look at the money now. They're going to look at how much money is coming in, how much money is on the table. And this is a lot of people will do is they'll put prices out there and limit calls and this kind of stuff. And this is the kind of data they're being fed. Alright, this is the kind of data they have in their hands. So they will look at the limit call. They'll look at all the bids that are going out there for one direction or the other direction, and then they'll make a determination on which way they want to go. So as you can see now, it's still leveling off right here. Alright, and then they're going to see which way they're going to make the big bucks. Alright, but it's one way. The thing about it is how they're going to screw you out of that money is what it is. They're going. You see, the thing I want to tell the beginners, I'm not going to play games with you. I'm not going to sit here and make it look like this is all dandy. It's run by a bunch of honest people. No, it's not. Alright? They're going to see how they're going to screw you. This is what it all is. The big cats, the institutions, the big bucks. Alright? They're going to see how they're going to screw you. And they got the data. They got the real hardcore data. Alright? You don't. Alright, no matter what you think or how much money you think you have and how much you think maybe you're a millionaire, you still ain't got. Unless you really are top there, you're up there with the big families, these big billionaires, you don't have the data. Alright, that's stuff that keep it to themselves. Alright, and they got global data. Alright, so they run it through their algorithms. Right now you see what's going on now. You see this freeze. You see this like a pause going on here. This is because something's coming down the pipeline. On the direction they're going to go. This is where they're beginning to think about which direction they're going to take this. Alright, so there's a pause. Alright, so now they're just crunching data. Alright, they're bringing in, and then they have the algorithms decide for them. By now, that's what they got, is algorithms deciding for them, which way they're going to go with this. Alright, if it's going to go up or down. Alright, some of my stuff is showing that there's going to be a downward trend. That's what my stuff is showing, that there will be a movement down So you see them now fighting it off there, and they're going sideways. All right, and we're going to see. It's going to be usually a lot of the stuff that I have. It's a little hard for them to go in the other direction, because they'll put themselves in a pickle. It'll start backing up behind them. A lot of people start coming in. It might not be the direction they want to go with this, and it's going to cost them more days to bring it down. So, so this, to me, is in the last couple of days they have been bringing it down. They have been, like bringing the stuff down, and this is to buy cheap and then boost up the damn thing up again. All right, so we're looking at here now. That's what we're looking at. You see it going sideways there. All right, and we might be looking at where it comes down, and maybe it'll come down to about. I don't know. Once it gets down to around, I would guess 19,170. You're gonna see if like I say, I'm looking at possibly down here. Is what I'm looking at now. All right, and in this range down here, around 181, 170, possibly maybe on this 160. If it gets down here below, you got a bit of resistance right here at about 19,160, 68 around there. You got some resistance building up here, and you got another level of resistance right down here. All right, so you got a couple levels of resistance down here. All right, but the main one is here. All right, right now it's like I said, this is sideways. This is weekend jitters. All right, and the big institution investor is watching this, and they still haven't decided on where they're going to go with this. All right, but a lot of this stuff that you see, this little stuff here, this is jitter, and they know this is decision coming up. When you see this little crap, when you see this little dinkling, little couple little stuff like that, this is them thinking in a direction. They're thinking, where is it going to go? All right, where are they going to hit us from? All right, so you got to be careful with this stuff here. Because it could be a big blow going upwards or downwards at any time. All right, so and it's a little hard for a lot of beginners and even for a lot of general investors, especially when you come to Bitcoin, that there's not a lot of Bitcoin exchanges out there that offer puts where you can come in. Especially now, where Bitcoin's been going down. They don't offer you. So you're making money only when it goes up. You don't make money when it goes down unless you got the proper exchange to get into where it will allow you to do it. A lot of exchanges don't even offer that. So it's a bit of a problem to go short on Bitcoin. You have to have the proper exchange. Sometimes some exchanges actually require that you give a large deposit and all this kind of good stuff. So you might not be able to go. Now, there are exchanges out there that look like they can, but I kind of suspicious about those exchanges. All right, I mean, it's really going to show you if they're really for real when you make money and then you ask to take your money out of the exchanges, and then you're going to find out if this is for real. This is a bunch of malarkey, right? So there are some exchanges out there that have been offering some of the they allow you to go short on these currencies, on the cryptocurrencies. Okay, but a lot of them don't. All right, so you got to be careful here. Yeah, small investors got to be, and it is a very risky thing. Going short on some of these currencies can be risky, and some of them can actually, if you actually know what you're doing, you can make some good money on it. So we're watching here on this chart to see what develops here. What's going to come out of here? We've been watching a sideward motion here. Let me go look at my other stuff, my other side that you guys are not able to see, and see where we're going with that. Let me take a look, see over there. Okay, still, it's pretty much the same thing what you're seeing. We're just seeing there a sideward motion, and one of my indicators is showing that it may remain sideways for now. Okay, maybe the next candlestick we may look at is maybe 1 or 2 more candlesticks sideways here. All right, But it's like right there in an area where it's almost impossible to pick if it's going to go right, if it's going to go up, or if it's going to go down right now. All right, it's actually is the chances of going down is greater than the chances of going up. You know, as I'm looking at about right now, about 70% chance, between 60% chance to 70% chance that it will go down. That's what I'm looking at right now. All right, on that. All right, so there's about, you can say, about 30% chance that it will go up. All right, if it stays where it's at. And if it starts making radical moves upwards, they also may be shaking the tree. You could say getting you nervous to dump. All right, just getting you to dump is what they're getting you. All right, so then we gotta be careful with that. All right, so they're still there in the middle, trying to figure it out in the direction they want to go on there, and we're kind of waiting it off here. There's been some good movements here this morning. You could say early morning on Bitcoin. It has bounced up in the proper direction. And it seems like not too many people were playing games with it. And it was moving in the proper way. But now around this time, you know, some of the big cats start waking up, and some of these institutions start kicking in. Even though it is the weekend, but these institutions have had to learn to work on the weekend because they have gotten themselves into cryptocurrencies. All right, so now you're going to see what they're going to do here next here on this one here. I'm seeing a little bit of pull up here. All right, but that might be just short-lived here, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of candlesticks here. How it develops here. Let's see if I get it out of my way here. And we're going to continue to watch the situation here develop on here. Alright. Grab some soda there. Yeah, I'll take a coffee break in a while. So we're just watching here to see what's he going to do next. And it's hard for people to invest. If you're a beginner, some people out there, they get some money, they save it up, and say, well, make it into the market's a great opportunity. It's hard to figure out what you're dealing with here. It's just not a. I don't think the markets will ever a clean market, like where you could get in and just go with whatever people were buying, and you could figure out more or less what directions the markets were going, and they were, because the big institutions and the big super banks and a lot of these people have basically destroyed a lot of these markets. It's all about them making money and stepping all over the little guy, and destroying accounts. And it's hard for the beginner investor to do stuff. Now you have long-term investment, you got short-term investment, and in the last decade, it's been very popular. You could say short-term investment. People, they hit and run. A lot of hit and run people out there. They get into the market, and all they do is hit and run. All right, they only get into the market for 1 day or 1 hour and they make a couple pennies, which is kind of stupid if you think about it, but some of these, they spend all the time just playing around with $10,000 or $15,000, and they're always in around that same range because they can't get it anywhere else. They can't go in any other direction because they come, they lose, they come, they lose, and they hit, they lose, and it's always in that one. They stay within range. All right, and it's hard for a lot of them to break either upwards or and go in the direction they want to make some money. And many of them go bust, and their accounts get empty out, and they continue, and they come back later on. They retry, see how it works, and they run into problems too. It's just hard. The problem is the loose cannon of this. The loose cannon of all these markets is the institution and the big giant bankers, who at any minute can have a board meeting, get around, have people, in some boardroom, you could say, and make a decision to drop or take something up. And no matter how much you think of that company or that cryptocurrency or that stock or that option, they can destroy it or make it. All right, and they can go against completely what the market believes in, and at a time that you're not even expecting it, and screw people over in a major way. Alright? Because they've been doing it for decades after decades after decades. And then they go out there and people go and teach these courses. Alright? Oh, you gotta do the heads and shoulder, you gotta do a wedge, you gotta do this, you gotta expect this, and use this kind of indicator, use that kind of indicator, and all you're doing is getting burned. And you wonder, what the hell, I used everything right and I did everything they told me to do and nothing. I ended up going the other way. Alright, but that's the way it is. And sometimes you can say, well, I'll put a bid in and I'll buy this, and all of a sudden it goes the other way, right? As soon as you buy it, it goes the other way. That's because of algorithms. They have been developing these algorithms that kind of figures out the psyche of people, figures out what they're thinking, all right? And then the big problem is all these people, they put on these limit orders in. That's all telling the bank what you're going to do, what you want to do. You're basically telling them what you want to do when you start putting all these limit orders in. All right, when you start putting orders of what you want to pay or don't want to pay, you're telling them what you're going to do. You're telling them your plan. All right, and then they'll, for one or two people, it doesn't make, it wouldn't be no big deal. But the problem is they don't have one or two people on their that they're collecting data on. They're collecting data on everybody, so they know exactly, oh, look, we got thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands or whatever people they want to go at this price. All right, or going to sell once it reaches, because that's another one. Then you put your limit call, you're putting your how much you want to sell something for, or how much you want to take profit, and they got all your data. All right. So that's the more you give them, the more they're going to be, the more the merrier they are in your data. They're living it up, you could say. All right, so that helps them out even more to make a decision on when they're going to screw you. All right, and they're going to be way ahead of the game before you can get into the game, and they're always making money. All right, they're constantly making money. Now, there could be wild times where they get hit. All right, but you could say it's rare when they get hit. All right, it's not happens all the time because they manipulate these markets up and down. Forex market is a total disaster when it comes to it because you got some big time international players involved in that, and then you got state-run one, which is basically countries basically messing around with their Forex markets. All right, so that's all a wall. That's them completely controlling. You have to figure them out what they're going to do. All right. And there are stuff out there that if you're able to do it right, you can figure them out. You can start. You have to have your mindset has to be is what do they want us to do? What is it they're looking from me, and what may be looking at the other people? If I see this pattern, that means they seeing it too. They know about this pattern. I don't think you just discovered a sliced bread and got away with it. Oh, wow, look, I know a secret. I know what to do with this. Look at this pattern right here. Look at this. This is an indicator. This is going to do this. This is when they got you by the yang-yangs because they're the ones who pretty much puts this information out on you. All right? So the things they get screwed up on is when you start coming up with totally different things that nobody knows about. That's why I don't share my indicator. I don't share my stuff with them. I just don't say it. All right? Because it just gets out there. And that's what they don't like. They like when they are in control. All right, so we're looking at still a downward. Not a downward. We're looking at a sideward motion here for right now on the Bitcoin here. We're looking at a sideward motion here. And this may continue here for a while. This sideward motion before there's a drop. All right, so there's a couple of things. Candlesticks we're looking at. There could be a little short hop, you could say. Developing here for a short hop, but it may go for the next anywhere between 15 minutes going out to the next almost 2 hours. Not the hop, not the sideward motion may go for maybe a couple more candlesticks. You'll see us, but they're going to make a decision here soon on which way they're going to go with this. They're not going to stay there all day long going sideways. Alright, so already they gone two 15-minute sections sideways, and you're not going to see them going out too far sideways. They're going to make a decision if they're going to go up or down on this one. Alright, and the percentage of going upwards, to me, the way I look at it, the percentage going upwards is like 30%, and the percentage of going downwards is around 70%. Alright, that's around, you can say give or take some points there. That's what you see on there. So it's a good percentage of a downward motion here. I think what it is sometimes with the downward motion is They know they play around with the game where they want to take it down, but they're afraid that people could get into a giant panic and dump the entire thing. Then they lose control. So they gotta take it easy how they bring you down. They don't want to, because they could free fall. They could do a free fall basically, or they cause such a panic where it's a free fall dump, and people would just have a meltdown and start dumping it all. Right now, it's we might be looking at some craziness happening here if this continues to drop, where there's nothing left and people just get pissed off and dump. There's people out there that bought bitcoins in the 50s. Oh man, I'm serious. I know some people that did, and they lost it. They don't know. I mean, it's hard to say if it ever is going to recover to that. You're not hearing these talkers out there saying that Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000 or hit a million. I've actually heard it as high as 1 million per coin, something like that. You don't hear them. As a matter of fact, many of them are hiding somewhere. All right, a lot of those big talkers and big people that we're talking, they're hiding somewhere right now. All right, so I think this is possibly the most volatile trading vehicle that anybody can get themselves into when it comes to this kind of currencies. And the rest of these currencies, for the most part, follow whatever the heck Bitcoin does. So you may see Ethereum and you may see Litecoin and all these coins, going up and down, but they're pretty much following what Bitcoin's doing. Some they do break out of the mold, and once in a while they'll do their own thing. But for the most part, they stay in line for whatever the heck Bitcoin having a bad day, they're going to have a bad day. Bitcoin have a good day, they're going to have a good day in some ways. It's just hard to get them to go back doing. It's hard to get them when Bitcoin's doing good, and all of a sudden it has a really, really miserable day. And then it hits them. It's hard for them to recover. It's easier for Bitcoin to recover, and they end up being hit pretty hard. Some of these small coins. Small tokens and coins and all that, they all get messed up. All right, so it's a little harder. I'm going to take a small little break here, and I'll be right back right after my break. Well, that's not the break I was taking. I was taking my break. Hang on, I lost my break. I'll take a small break here, because I'm not sure if I'll be back. I'm not going to take my 3-minute break here. I'll take my right back.
Somebody in there need a blessing, praise the Lord. Somebody in there need a blessing.
Okay, we're back here again. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I like, I like some stuff. I'm not, I'm old school, and I like seeing nice ladies once in a while. Just they're out there, not in a pervert way. Don't even think about that, but there's some nice ones out there, and I think mans need to be reminded the women's are still nice. They still look good. All right. so anyway, I like to put that out. I put out different stuff. It's my break. I have coffee. Actually, a little soda. I gotta get some coffee done. Probably next time I'll take a little longer break and try to get me a pot of coffee going here. So we're looking at all this stuff going on here, with all the goodies here, and we can see that we're still stabilized there. We're still going sideways here. All right, but they're getting ready to make their move here on the sideward motion, and you're going to see some people come in. Here's the thing about it. Sometimes people come in and it will be like, it wouldn't be the investor, it wouldn't be the institutions. The institutions, right now to me, the institutions are sitting on the line. They're sitting on the sideline. But they're planning their next big move. All right. And what you're seeing there is some people coming in and they're putting in some money in there. It's going to go up and we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. And it may not be the case. All right. Institutions may actually be looking at a downward motion here. All right, so remember the institutions are making money both ways on here. You guys, most of the people out here invested in bitcoins are not making money both ways. They're only making money one direction. That's if it goes up. All right, so the institutions, they know how to play their game. All right, they know what they're going to come after, and they're ready to burn. They don't care about you or me or anybody. They only care about themselves, okay, and their billions of dollars and all that stuff behind this stuff. All right, so here we go. We're still going sideways here. Next candle is broken here, and we still see the sideward motion going. It's around 19,280 around, and there is give or take depending, how that goes. You're still watching. See, you're beginning to see a little bit pickup here. All right. You're seeing a small pickup here, and I said interesting pickup. That last bar there, and that little, what you could say, pickup they just did there. Let me see if I can get a close up on there on you guys, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There you go, looky. Hang on a second. Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Let me see if I can pull this up a little higher, a little bigger here. I'm looking at this bar right here. You see how big a bar is compared to this one? Where they really moved up the price here. Huh. I talked too soon about the institutions. Alright. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, nice one. That's interesting. Well, that's interesting right there. Alright. It showed a lot of pressure on the downwards. It was showing about, like I said, about 70% chance it's going to move downwards. And it was going to go sideways. But now somebody seems like they prefer the 30% of moving upwards here. Let me go look at some other stuff that I have here and see what may be going on with this game here. There's a little game being played with that one now. Okay. See the rapid move there upwards. Now we're gonna have to watch that candlestick. Actually the wick. We have to watch the wick on there. On where's it gonna go next? And it went up, but you see that long wick that has been left there. All right, so it's showing that it's running into problems where they want to take it to. Other indicators are still showing it to me, the sideward motion. All right, that it'll still go sideways and it's going to go drop. It's there, and it's going to run into some resistance. Alright, the wick there's a good indicator. That's not a big wick. It was a large wick. I mean, it's actually a large wick, but it's actually cut back a lot. It's like it was almost like it being punched in the face. Like it ran into a wall and it and now you're seeing it bounce back in a major way. It ran into some problems. Somebody tried to push it up. Somehow, not somebody, you could say some people out there. And sometimes what you got is you got some of these limit calls coming in. All right, some of these either puts or calls and whatever, and then they'll swing it around. They'll swing it. All right, and you'll see this big hype up and bam, and they'll come back down again, and it won't stick. All right, it may not stick. The wick is pretty large. It's a large wick. When you see these large wicks, you know you're running into an indication of something that's holding it from going up. All right, so they ran into the money was there, and the money went up, and the buys went in, and the sells came in right away. All right, so it was like, and it was a big. It was not given no chance to make any kind of foundation, you could say. So that's what you see happen there now. With the let me pull this over to the side here. As we continue to watch the show here. You know, for some people out there, they go, you know, I could be watching sports or basketball or something. You know, you can watch whatever, but I know this is in money, man. You know, they're talking about people with their money, and people worry about their stuff. They're looking at this stuff and they, oh my God, look what this is going on. You know, if being out here, I'm talking about Bitcoin. A lot of people out there will be listening to me. They're listening to me like, oh my God, we're the ones who put the money to go up, not to go down, James. Can you be more of a optimist on this, and instead of being a pessimist that it's going to go down? You know, I'm not here to water it down. You know, I'm not here to water this down. All right, and I'm just here to say like I see it. You know, I'm not gonna. I mean, if I what I've done in the past, where I tell people how, you know, about the investment, and I give them everything that I feel is bad or good about it, and I'm telling them like it is. I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, it's beautiful, man, to invest, man, I'm gonna invest. No, man, that's not the way it works. It's extremely. It can be extremely volatile to invest in markets, especially today. If you would have gone back maybe 2 decades ago, investing in markets was hard still, but you kind of, if you could, you could say, study enough or learn enough and get enough experience and different things, you can almost figure it out, you could say. All right, but still, the institutions were there, and the manipulators were there. All right, and those have always been the loose cannons for all this. This is the ones you don't know exactly what they're planning to do next. All right, so you're going to have to. It's more like your psychological warfare is what you got going on here, and you really got to be psychologically fit to be able to, not fit, but psychologically savvy, you could say, to figure them out what their next move may be. It's like a giant chess game here. That's what we're looking at. A massive chess game being played, where the opponent is always ahead of you by 4 or 5 moves. All right, and their job is always to stay ahead of you by 4 or 5 moves, and you almost never get a break to get in front of them, or what, you know, to figure out their moves. You get a hard time with them. And this is the way they keep you, and they keep you out of this. You say trying to figure it out. They keep you that way by all the amount of data they collect on you. All right, and with the internet and with all the stuff that's been going on lately in the last, you could say, 7 years, oh man, their data is through the top. And then they're using these supercomputers to crunch numbers and algorithms. They got a huge advantage over you. See, they got to drop the market down or up. All right, so there are going to be people that believe that they figure it out. They believe they can get in, get out, and get in, because there are going to be times they're going to win. But that's because you got in a time when they decided that the market would go in that direction. That was the direction you also wanted to go, but that was the direction they wanted to go anyway. All right, so you thought you win, when in reality you haven't won. I mean, they were still manipulating, they're still behind the scene, but you might get in the right bus, you could say, heading the right way, you could say, the way they want to go, and you're okay. But you didn't do it because you figured them out. You just did it in some ways by luck, or you did it by You looked at some stuff and you say, oh, maybe it goes on. Oh, maybe you read some news and the other stuff that almost had nothing to do with the markets, and you can figure out something here and figure out something there, and you go with it. So we're still looking at that candlestick there, this new candlestick, how it grows there. All right. And the thing about it is the wick. You're looking at that wick. All right, well, it's just not reaching. It's not able to make that high. And it comes down. It gets hit and gets knocked out again. And it comes down again. So it's getting hit. And I'm telling you right now, it's hitting a bubble. It's hitting a resistance. It's going to hit a resistance right there. I don't know if they're going to be able to push that any higher than where is that trying to go right now. All right. Right now it's showing at about 19,300. All right. And these are all psychological numbers. When you see these numbers like 300, 200, 300, 500, these little digits, one digit, two zeros, you could say, three-digit numbers. It's just people think, oh, no, it's going to stop at 300. It'll never go into 300. Oh, yes, it can. It can go into 300. It can go anywhere it wants to. All right, so some people, it gets kind of hits them. But you also have some of these automatic trades come in, and then you'll see where it hits it and bounces right back down because all the automatic trades were there. All right, and to sell, and they got people that want to sell that. People that still stuck with it. People that want to get rid of it. All right, but they're willing to get rid of it for the price now. So they put all these sales. So you see they're trying to see if they can break it. So here the thing is, the super banks and all these people, they know how many people they pretty much know how many people have put in these automatic sales, and then they know how far they got to push it. If they want to go up, they're going to go up. You're not going to be able to stop them from going up. You're not going to be able to stop them from going down because they know what people are putting on these exchanges. All right, this is the way they keep making money. You keep hitting the poorhouse. I can see people out there saying, "Man, you're not helping me, man. I'm a beginner. You're scaring the living yang out of me." I don't want. It's not scare. I don't know if I want to scare you. I want you to learn respect for this craziness out here. That is not, if money is money, it costs you a lot of time to make your money. A lot of people, it costs a lot of time, unless you're some major drug dealer or something. And yeah, you can, even that, you're putting your freedom at stake and possibly getting blown away. But still, there are people that put a lot of hard work into collecting a little bit of dimes and then putting it into these markets, and all of a sudden they see their dreams melt away. How many people are right now, throughout the entire world, seeing what happened with Bitcoin, just in shock, and their dreams of a multi-million-dollar house, and their yacht, and their pool, and all the good stuff, it's just not there no more. It's gone. All right, and then some of these, the ones that I really feel for, and I feel bad for them, but then they did it on their own. They were grown-ups and they did it. You could say, are those people that bet the farm, literally. They really took access that they had, stuff that might have been important to them, land or house or property, you could say, or something they own, and they sold it just to get into the game of Bitcoin. And now they're regretting it. Yeah, it's tough, people. It's very tough. So you're gonna have to hang in there. I mean, we don't know. If you were to ask me, should I stay in the market now or get out? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I can only tell you what I see, what's going on in the market. So now I'm looking at this candlestick that continues to make some grounds here. All right. But as you can see, it goes up, and then you have the wick. Up, bang. It's like somebody's up there, bang. It's like, you're not going to sell. I want to sell. Boom, and it sells. And that's what you have. You have the sellers up there. As soon as it goes up, it gets hit in the face. All right. And this is sometimes this is like a war. You got to look at it. Where people probe. If you guys have ever been in the military, I've done work with the DOD and other military, you could say. And you sometimes probe the enemy, all right? And you probe for weakness. And sometimes what these banks are doing, these super institutions, they're probing. So they'll throw in some money in there to see what kind of they're going to run into. And they also got all that data that helps them out. But they want to see what the real those who are not part of the data, those who are they don't know what they're doing, are going to do if they decide to go upwards now. And then they'll start if they continue to see slaps across the face. If they continue to receive slaps across the face, and that system is still there, where the people every time you go up, you get giant cells, a lot of cells start coming in. Then they'll start looking at their plan to go down. All right, that's what they're going to look. So they're going to move the market downwards. All right, so that's why one of my indicators still shows sideways, and it usually does a lot of good work. One of some of the stuff that I have, and it's still showing sideways, even though that activity there is going on. But you can see where it's running into that candlestick. The candle wick there is just doesn't turn into a candlestick. It's just the wick is just hanging there, and it's having a very long wick. All right. So that's not a good indicator. That's mean you're being smashed in the face. All right, so I bet there's people out there listening to me that, man, I never heard anybody explain this to me the way you're explaining it. That's because you got a bunch of these technical freaks. They go on to these seminars, and they go and they pick up all these books. And they read up on all these technical things, and then they want you to understand that they know all this stuff when in reality they don't know where they're at. All right, and a lot of this technical stuff, like I said, is already known by the big cats, and they're the ones that are going to use it against you. All right, so so you got to be careful there. All right. People, don't forget, if you're listening to me and you like the show, subscribe. This is the first show. This is the first show. There's nobody out here. It's just me talking, but some of you guys may actually see the show later. All right, so it's the first show. And please subscribe to the channel and give likes. And also, if you're able to, make a donation. All right. Now, if you guys, my email's there, and you want me to help you, and you want me some pics or something along those lines, well, make a donation, and a nice donation, you could say, because if it's something that you want to know some pics for, let's say coming up week or something, make a good donation, because I have to spend some time in it. All right, so whatever helps. Anything you guys can help. And you got Bitcoin and PayPal. You can make donations on PayPal, Bitcoin. For those people that they know how to handle those QRs, whatever they call them, those codes there. All you do is scan them on your phone, and bing, bang, boom, you can go to that Bitcoin or PayPal or whatever. Make a nice donation. And if you're not, then just go to the main page. Go to the description box below, and you're going to see that it has the links to go to those donations. To do those, if you want to just go to the links, you can go to the links too. All right. So anything is appreciated that you guys are able to donate. I want to do more shows. I want to do shows on different things. I want to do some shows on the markets, on the general stock market, see what's going on with that. And come out here and put some of the stuff that I'm looking at, and get into some talk with people and try to help them look. And you can pop in and ask questions. Or say, I want you to look at this stock and let me know what you think. I'll let you know. I'll just look at what I think, and I'll give you a small little synaptic there on what I think about it. All right. So here we go. We got the next candlestick is opening up now, and it was not able to beat out that wick. Not for now. So it's showing a weakness. Showing weakness on that candlestick. It's beginning to show there. Alright. So I could go up, like I say, a little bit here, but long term, going about an hour out, you may start seeing a movement downwards, and then you might see a sharp movement downwards. That's what you might see here. If they cannot get what they want to do to move it up, or to get people to go up, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll egg you on that the whole thing is going to move up, and it's all them playing games. All right, so they're like making you believe that there's going to be a huge movement up. All right, and this is them playing this game. All right, and then you go, oh my God, I'm going to go up. All right, and it's just them playing the game with you, is what it is. All right, because they already bought down there, they bought low. All right, so they want to push. Now they want to push you up. All right, and when they buy high, they want to push it down. Because they'll be always on the opposite end of your trade. all right, to get you to go the other direction. And then, they make all the money. You end up losing all the money. All right, so that's the game they play. All right, so but sometimes they'll egg you on. They'll spend some money, and they'll egg you on to go in one direction. There'll be big buys coming in. Oh, big buys! Oh my God, the market's gonna go sky high, and it doesn't. It went the other way. Okay, so it's just them playing the game with you. All right, so you gotta keep an eye on all those big giant trades going out there. All right, some of you might have the software where you're able to see the amount of trade coming in and out. From the Bitcoin, and some of the whales coming in there and spending some big bucks. All right, so the next candlestick there seems to want to beat out the wick. All right, so it's still showing an indication of a slight work, but it's going to run. I know that next candlestick is running into resistance. That I'm pretty sure. All right, that is definitely running into resistance. Okay, that candlestick below that one was beginning to go, you could say, kind of walk into resistance, but it wasn't there. Now, looking at that one, I know that one's running into resistance. All right, so that one there, you may see the next candlestick, a sideways motion on that one. All right, you may see we may start seeing a sideways motion on there. All right, on that candlestick coming up. There's a good set resistance level that I can see. And it's about, it's up there in about 19,000 and around 440. All right, that's a good size, a pretty hard resistance level. All right, that is there. All right, so a lot of people have been banging their heads on that one, and not be able to break through. Now you see the next candlestick there is beginning to break. And you're seeing that, I've told you this, it's going to be showing sideways or downward motion on that one, because it is that one candlestick. Actually, that was the last candlestick, and it ran into that was the last one, and it ran into the resistance. That's that area where it's at right now. Let me see if I get into that chart. I'll show you what I mean. Where am I here? Okay, dokie. All right, let me move this one here. It's moving in here. This area right up here. Alright, that's pretty good resistance up here. That is going to move into. Right in here. Alright. Now it could come down here and bang itself in and bang itself up and bang until it busts through. Sometimes what you do is you'll have a couple times it'll bang off it and it'll bust through. But if it continues to bang in there, you just come down. Alright. They'll play it downwards. That means they've reached they reach what they can do, and they're going to play it down. So you see, it's in this area. I will just put it, because it doesn't show it on this chart, but it will show it. It will be around this area right here. All right, right in there. That you have this resistance wave in here, you can say, that is holding back a lot of this stuff. And you see these the candle wicks running into them. All right, until those resistance. Yeah, it sells. All right. I mean, that whip there could actually turn the other color, could go the other way. All right. So we got to see how it goes. People, the thing about people is they think this is it. This is it, and they'll start putting money in there. All right, and then you'll see the big sales. Boom, 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 boom. Around turn up. That's them selling. That's the ones who already bought. They bought it low and now they're selling it high. You see the wick now. My stuff is showing a sideways motion here. It's what it's showing right now to me. It's showing that this is what it's showing to me. It's showing it's going to run into all this resistance and then start coming down. And then you may see somewhere around here another attempt to hit that resistance level up there, and it'll come back down. And you may see it in a couple hours. You may see it down here where it's like around 19,175, 19,000, somewhere down that area. All right, but that'll be in a couple. That could be a couple hours from now. All right. But it's going to run into that unless they go for it. Unless they're going to push it, and they'll take their money and dump it in there and get the people, the global, those who are investing in this to go in that direction they want to, and that is because they already bought. They bought down here somewhere. All right, and they want to push it. They want to put some money. They'll see then with these people, they'll buy down here, or even down here. All right. When they got down here, they buy big chunks, all right? And then they'll come and they'll spend all this time pushing it up. And they'll come with some money, a little bit of money, and they'll shake up the market to push it. They know exactly when that candlestick, how much they need to push these how much they need to put out to move these candlesticks on the upward motion. And then the regular person doesn't know what the hell's going on. Oh, look, the market's going up. I'm gonna put the money in, and it puts the money in. And then when it gets up to a certain point and they think it's time for them to pull the plug, they pull the plug. But before they do that, they end up buying. They end up going to puts. And they'll end up putting their puts out here, all right, and getting ready for a market shift, all right, that they're going to push down, all right. And then you see the market going down. They make money that way. They make money both directions. You lose money both directions. If you don't know what it is. Right now, I know this bouncing up is because it's running into this area right here. That you could put almost like a circle in here. It's running into that. It's going to bounce. All right. In that area. It may not walk in towards sideways. That's what you might see going on there. All right. Let me go back to my other one. I'm going to let it go there. I'm going to go back to my other short there. You guys can't see it, but the only short I have is this one on there. Here you go. Let me look at my other stuff. What's it doing? There you go, second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's running into a... That's what I think. That's what I've been trying to tell you. It's running into that resistance level up there. And let's see how long it goes. We'll continue to monitor here, but it's not in a. It's actually running into a pretty good resistance level right there. Where it's hitting right now, it's almost right on it. It's not actually straight on it. It's still a little bit below the hardcore resistance. All right, but it's the wicks are running into it a little bit, and it may end up bouncing right off it, and that's what you're gonna. But there is another indicator that I'm watching, which is the one it's a very bold indicator sometimes, and it's gone off. It has gone off a little bit off the sideward motion. All right, so we're gonna watch here to see what it does here on this one here. But it's that one indicator. It's right in the middle. I mean, it's like flat out in the middle of deciding which way to go on that one. So, all right, but I have to go with the other ones that I have that is showing. I got two other ones that are showing that no, it is going to turn. It's not going to go up. It's going to run. It's going to continue to run into that resistance. That's my other ones that are showing. All right. When the other one turns, the one right now showing 50%, which you don't see on there, turns, then that's pretty good. That means that it will go down. I mean, it's good, bad. I mean, for those who invested, don't have puts. It's bad. All right. So it's going to be down. All right. But for those who are right now trying to go up, you're running into a lot of problems here. You're running into almost like double resistance. You're running into from different indicators. Right now I have almost like almost about three or four of them you can say. They're saying no, this is not it. All right, you're gonna run into problems there, and it's and you see the long candlesticks again, up beginning to appear again. Alright, so it's really banging their heads on the wall on that one, trying to push it upwards. And you already got, let's see what happens when the next couple of candlesticks go up. If they're going to bang their heads on the wall too. You know, after a while, if it doesn't go through, then they'll drop it. That means they may have reached the point of where they wanted to take it to. And it's not about you investment. Let me tell you, it's not about you investing in the market. The way the market moves up and down. It's about them. It's about the big boys. How they invest in. They're the ones who are moving the market. You think you're moving the market. You're moving the market to a point. Alright? But you're there to be used by them to get the market to go one way or the other. That's basically what they're doing to you. You as an investor are just as a tool for them. And sometimes what you'll have is some of these global institutions, super banks, they may end up not in agreement with each other, and they may end up where you see volatility because they're banging heads against each other. All right, on which way they want to take a certain stock or company or crypto or options or forex, whatever, and they bang their heads up against each other sometimes. But a lot of times they know that if they do that, they're going to cause problems for themselves. And once they settle, you could say they settle with each other, then they go back and sync, and they're all either going to go up or down. But there will be sometimes they'll butt heads with each other, and then you'll see volatility on these markets, right? So right now, they may have played it to that point where, here the thing is, they can't go too far when it comes to the public. They can only push so much because the public will put all their limit calls, and they'll put all their they'll set their automatics and whatever when they want to buy or sell, and it gets to a point where they just don't have enough people buying or selling what they want, and they'll have to push it one way or the other to move on with their next little scheme on how they're going to get you. All right, but they are basically invested on both sides of the table, and they're just going to run it one way or the other to the max, and then that's what they're making their money. All right, and you're just caught in the middle. You're basically the investor today is like a cattle. It's like cows. All right, well the farmer's the one making the money. The guy that herds the cowboy, you could say the owner of the farm, is the one that makes the money. The cows are just there going one way or the other. They're being pushed to go this way or that way, and you're just being manipulated all the time. All right, that's all it is. All right, so that's the way the game goes. You know, if I think there's investors out there right now probably living okay, you could say, because they really figured out a lot of this stuff, and they stopped looking at a lot of the stupidity out there being offered by so many people talking to you a bunch of BS that these people already know about. And they've been able to figure out some of the stuff to make money. All right, but for the average person, you run into a lot of problems figuring out these markets. Right now, you see where the candlestick has disappear. You can say the wick, not the candlestick, the wick is pretty much gone. I really got cut off. They cut off their heads off of that one. You see that possibly they're going to be looking at a sideward motion. Here's what we're looking at here. All right, but I wish my indicator there could make a decision. Well, I got one that's it's a pretty powerful one. It's got it smack right in the middle. I mean, I get smack right in the middle. It will not give me a up or down on that. It's hard for me to call it, but based on other indicators, I'm still looking at right now. I'm still looking at about probably less that's going to go up. Maybe a 20% chance of going up, 80% going down. Actually, is what I'm looking at here. All right, at where is run into resistance. Is what is run into here. So we're watching this. Now we're doing this a live show. For you guys that play this later on, you know, all the things that I'm telling you is not going to make any sense because at the time you play it, it's just a different hour, different time. You have to go back and look at the time and what other indicators are going if you want to compare what I'm saying. All right, so this is we're looking at live show here, and at the time that it was airing. Right now I'm airing. Maybe at the time you hear my voice, another time you guys air different. Okay, so we're watching. What I'm watching here, actually, what I'm looking at here, for me, it's about a 20%, 25% chance of going up, and I give it the rest of going down. That's what I'm giving right now. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I see that it is running into problems. You guys are seeing an indicator. Not an indicator. You're seeing you're seeing the chart is what you're seeing, but you're not seeing the stuff that I see. I got way too much charts, too much indicators, too many things to be running off one screen, and I won't put those. Those are not there. Those I keep to myself. I tell you, there are these people. The less they know about how you figure them out, the better it is. All right. If you ever figure out how to really beat these people, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Because they're dying to get all this information and feed their algorithms. All it is a game for them to beat you out. Now you can see where I told you it was going to either go sideways or begin to drop. And I'm telling you, there's like a 25% chance of going up, and most of it's going to end up either 75% chance of going down. All right. And now you see where you have another indicator popped up. It actually, no, not an indicator, another candlestick popped up, and that one is below the other one, and even the candle, even the wick is below, and it's below the next level, the next candlestick, and that's is really running into a wall there. I told you there was a lot of resistance in that area. All right. You may see it go. Now let's see. You have to look. Like I said, you have to start thinking the way they think. Okay. So they know they run. The majority of the people are not going to put a lot of money here and going upwards. All right. So they may have sucked out as much as they can, squeezed out as much as they can out of the buyers, as much as they can get buyers out there now. And their data, remember, they got data that I can't see, you can't see, which tells them who's out there putting out these limit calls and all this other stuff that tells them if you're still planning, I'm actually getting it at a higher rate. And if you see a lot of this call way up there in prices, they may go for it. They may still push it up, trying to get up to those levels. Remember, they started out low. And when you go high, they start, it's just the reverse. They pump it, they dump it. All right. And already today, possibly all the way down there in around 19,000, they bought as much as they can. That's why you see the numbers moving up. All right. And now they're ready to dump, or they're going to push it up another 10-20%. All right, before they dump. All right. Because it's all about the game they play. Dump, pump and dump. All right. And this is where they're making money. All right, I'm the kind of person they don't like, because I tell you what they're more or less what they're thinking, and that's because of years and years of experience watching them, watching these indicators and then getting a sense of what they're doing. All right, so right now you can see we got a sideways motion going on there. All right, and let's see if we start getting the drop that we're looking for here. All right, and here's the thing is, I'm going to kill that indicator that I have, because it just lives in the middle, and it doesn't want to decide. It's on the fence line. It just doesn't want to get off it one way or the other, and it doesn't give it to me. It doesn't, and that's a really good. It's one of my better indicators, and it's on the fence line on which way it wants to go on there. But about three of them are showing that it's going to run into it's on a resistance. It's running into resistance. All right. Now you see where it actually pulled down, and then you had that long candlestick at the bottom there. All right. So it's running into a little situation down there, but sometimes you'll see that. And this is them to get you to think that it's going to go up. Okay. You gotta watch out, because sometimes they'll play these games. All right. They'll get you to play. They'll play some games with that, and they may be seeing some people that have put up a lot of these limit calls way up there, possibly that they're willing to buy or willing to sell, depending on how they're going to play this game out. And it may be up there, you're looking at 19,400, maybe up in that area. All right, so maybe they believe that they can push you as far as up in that direction before they dump you. All right, but I don't think so, because it's actually going to create a kind of high that they don't want, a kind of a level. They're not going to be. They're going to have a hard time screwing around with it. All right, and they're going to get a lot of people behind them coming in and filling in some of the spots, and they're going to have to then fight them out. All right, so it's hard to explain what I'm saying. But here it is. Now you see where the candlestick has gone dry. You could say in some words, it doesn't make up its mind where they want to go. And it's just like there. On your chart, it doesn't show that. On one of my charts, it shows that the candlestick is not committed. And it's showing on your chart. It's showing downwards. And it's all indication that that's what the direction is going to go. It's going to go downwards. And I told you that. I told you that about several minutes ago, that it was going to run into a wall. If it kept going up, it was going to run into a lot of resistance. All right. So we may be looking at again. Like I said, I'm still giving you the number that I believe, and that is the 70% chance that it will go down, and 75% chance. Actually, I've actually increased the percentage by about 5%. after they ran into that wall, and you see the candlesticks really got screwed up there. And I'm talking about upward motion. It's going to be very hard to go up. It's going to have only a 25% chance of going up, being able to move up right now. So it's level off there. You may see another candlestick either level off or below. The next candlestick is kind of an important candlestick. All right. If the next candlestick is below this one that you see, all right, and the price opens up below, then you're gonna see some movement going downwards here. You're gonna be seeing some general movement downwards. All right. So I know if you, I know, and here the thing is, when I sit here and talking about this, I'm used to doing a lot of forex markets. All right. So I don't. I guess I will say I don't. I forget that I'm dealing. I'm not dealing in forex. I'm dealing in the crypto market, and there's a lot of people who are not able to put down these puts. You don't feel me having like I don't feel bad about it, and I should feel bad about it that the market is going down, because a lot of people are not going to make money. They're losing. When the market goes down, they're going to lose money. I kind of forget about that as I'm talking here about it. I'm kind of forgetting that this is not. It's not like the forex or even the stock market where you can go short or go long. The crypto market has doesn't have a lot of exchanges that does this. Many people are just there for the long haul. That is what they're there for. So those are people I feel bad for. Right now the market is for crypto is it's a bear market. The bear's beating the crap out of the bull. I think he ripped up like 2 horns off that bull and shoved them where the sun don't shine. So it's a problem for them. So there's always a wild card that can come in. You could always have somebody pop their heads in and say something good about crypto, and you'll see a big spike in price. It may even kick it into where it starts to go up. All right, that one always can come out anytime, but it's also a wild card going in the opposite direction, where somebody could come in and do something crazy and say we're dumping so much, and all of a sudden you got all hell break loose. All right, so that's the thing about the wild cards are hard to predict. You don't know when they're going to come. All right, there are people out there, these super billionaires, and people that got big bucks, and people that can influence markets. All right, depending on what they say. All right, and they know it. All right, and they're not many of them. You can't hold everybody. You can't tell everybody. You can't say nothing about a market. You can't shut, even if it's a millionaire or whatever. People have the right to say what the hell they want. So, yeah, and I know they try to kind of hold it off on some of these people. Oh no, we get the safety out there. There's not much you can do about it. Well, so unless something comes in right now, some billionaire or some famous person says something positive about Bitcoin right now, it's probably going to move down. I hate to say it, so, but here's the thing about it, there's going to be down times, there's going to be up times. All right, I could be here, if I would have been here about an hour ago, more than an hour ago, this should go back, I will say we'll go back around 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago. If I could have been back then, if I could have been back here, I could have gone broadcast. I would have broadcast during that time. I would have told you, it's going to go up. I would have been telling you the opposite. I would have told you, because I would have been watching my stuff. My stuff would have been indicating to me and telling me this is going to move up. And there was certain signals and certain things that were showing up. It's going to have an upward move. And I would have told you it's a good possibility it's going to go up. All right, and for the people that invest in crypto, and they know they only have one direction to go to make money, and that if it goes up, it might have been an opportunity for them to get in. And right about now, if they got in back then, they should be. If I was doing the show that long, because looking at hours and hours and hours of show here, and nobody says, "Hey James, here's my $2 to support you with my little donation." Nobody says that. So, but if I was out here, I'm like a jukebox. You put up some money in here, I'll probably be here all night with you, if I can get some good donations out here. But if not, hey, I got things I got to do too, and there's stuff that I got to, put together. But going back to this, Excuse me. Right now, if I had money, if I was, I guess if what I want to say, if I bought going back around 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago, and what I bought low, right now I will be looking at selling. I'm looking at getting out of this right now. Just take my wins and get out. For now, and wait for the next dip to then come back in and do another buy, and hopefully go back up again. All right. Now you can make some money, and doing it that way is tricky because when the trend is downwards, it's tricky. Okay, you're going against the grain. Sorry, you're basically going against the grain. All right, and you gotta kind of really know how to time it right, because you'll run into a lot of problems. All right, so if you were actually one of those person putting puts, you know that the grain is going down. So you actually increase the odds that you'll be more successful in your trade. All right, but those right now, buying low to sell high, you're in some ways going against the grain, and your odds a little against you because the trend is down. The trend's been down for several weeks, about a weeks we're looking at here now, I think. Well, we're going. If you go back to where it broke off, you could say, or stop increasing over that. I think it was $66,000. Then you know that you've been going against the grain for a long time. All right, but there are opportunities. There's still for that investor that wants to get in there, because there's going to be those pop ups and come down. It's just going to be more down than ups, you could say, and there's more. They'll get to a point where it just doesn't go up to that level anymore. All right, and then it just climbs down even further. So you got to know how to get out. All right, if I was there right now, I see the reds coming up, and I see the sells coming in right now. So, and I already told you that was going to happen. I told you that there was a percentage that was going to come down. So right now I'm looking at bailing out, getting out. Let me get out, take my money, and get out, and wait it, and then wait to see what happens next. On the next dip, you could say you're not going to have me around because I'm not. I'm not going to tell you. Probably it's just too many hours away from now. The next dip could be too many hours away from now. All right. If I had you on a, like I say, on the list to contact you, tell you when the next dip takes place, then to contact you and tell you the dip is here, get ready to. Oh, I can tell you there's a good possibility it's going to go up. Then that would be different because I have you in the mailing address. I don't even have that set up, but that's something I could put. I have my email there, But of course, I do take donations, and there'll have to be some donations on that. I just can't do that. Oh, anybody calls me, oh, hey, give me that. It's not the way it works. You know, uh, I have to come out here. I'm doing this to help, but I also got to hopefully try to make a couple dollars here too on what I do out here. Okay, so it helps people, and and I leave it up to you, to make a kind donation, whatever. And but you begin to see stuff here. All right, you see that I haven't talked to you about wedges, and I haven't talked to you about heads and shoulder, and I haven't talked to you about the volatility level, or even the price. Barely talked to you about the price. I'm just giving you like the hardcore. This is what I believe is going to do, up or down. All right, is what I'm giving you. All right. And it's up to you what you want to do. All right. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, if you have this, and I always will put like I just told you. If I would have got in 6 hours ago, and I'm telling you should do it, but I would have got out right now. I would have bailed on that. All right, because I knew that was coming up. My stuff is showing that there was a downward move. There's going to be a downward motion on there. All right. Now here's the thing about it. The way this stuff sometimes works is you may see downward motion now. All right, and you may still see one more attempt on an upward motion. All right, or they'll come down, and then you start seeing it will start to go a little bit sideways. And excuse me. And once again, it will try to attack the resistance. All right, to see if it can break through that resistance, that roof, you could say, over it. All right, it will try to do that. You may see that coming up, or it may give up on it. They may actually give up on it and say, you know, the heck with it, it's not going to work. We're not going to build through it. We might as well start dumping now. All right. And like I tell you, these people know what they're doing. They're on opposite ends of you, and they're pumping and dumping, and they're making money off you. But they really are the ones that buy high and sell low, or buy low and sell high. They really are the top people on this. They're the ones because they have the data you don't have, and you're never going to get You're never going to get a hold of that data. That's their game. That's their stuff. Unless you, like I said, you're one of these top Illuminatis or something, you're not going to get nothing from them. All right. So this is where we're at right now. Okay. You're going to see possibly the next candlestick. Next candlestick is also important. This one was important, and it's already showed what I told you. It turned red. Next candlestick. Let's see where it breaks. If it breaks below that price right now that we're seeing now, this is a big indication of a big movement downwards here. If it breaks half of what it is right now, it's still an indication down. If it's even with it, it stays at the upper level at the top of the candlestick, then you're going to see where it starts doing sideways. It'll start going sideways, and that means they may attempt to again try to see if they can break through the roof, you could say, through that resistance. Alright, so I think it's going to move down to a support level. I don't know if it's going to move down to the support level it hit earlier, around 6 hours ago, 5 or 6 hours ago, if it's going to move down to that. You're running into resistance there too. But to me, that will be an easier one to break downwards than to break upwards right now, the way the trend's been going. It will be easier to break on a downward motion than an upward motion right now. Alright, so right now you can see where they're buying. They don't want to buy too much, because if they're going to send it down, if they're going to send this down and they start buying too much, it starts moving the price up. They're going the opposite end, the opposite way. But if they lightly start coming in, buying some good chunks, alright, where it doesn't go back to showing positive movement upwards, then they can set themselves up for another good. And what I mean, I'm not talking about buying to go long. I'm talking about buying to go short. All right, well, they're going to shorten the stock right now. So they're going to, this is where they're leveling off. They may end up right now at that plateau where they're going to level off, and now they're going to start going short. They're going to start preparing to go short. So they start putting money together. Like bringing in to buy. You could say the what they need to go short to buy enough. You could say. So when they take it short. Okay, so you may see them then trigger a panic. At this level, you could see it panic, and that will be a long candlestick. All right, and that will be them trying to trigger. Once they got what they want, they got the amount they want on puts to go short. They got the amount they want. Then they can set up a panic. All right, if they're using the big bucks, they're using tons of money. They're using because they're not dealing with $10, $100, dealing in the millions here. All right, and then they will drop into the bucket. You could say a panic attack, or you see this long red candlestick starts to develop. That's them getting you into a panic, and you then go crazy. And then a lot of people that have the automatics. The ones that will sell automatically. If you get down to that range or the limits and all, you're gonna get triggered, and it will cause even more of a panic. And then you start seeing, well, down, and then this is when they got you by the yang-yangs, because they already bought. Right now, I can tell you, the way I know these clowns, the way they work, and I call them clowns because they don't really have respect for humanity. They don't care about a little investor or about any investor. All right. The way I see it is they're preparing right now themselves. All right, to go short. They're getting ready. All right. I don't see it where they're going to try to go against the grain and go against the resistance they got above their heads. And this is because they may not have enough buyers right now in the market, or people who are interested in buying, you can say, more Bitcoin. So they're better off just hitting that right there, taking advantage of the situation, and start getting into the puts. All right. and they're going to getting ready to go short. So they're going to be buying, selling, buying, and buying. Not buying, selling. They're going to be buying, buying to go short. Remember, they're going to go short. So they're going to be putting some money in that, and then at the right time, they may throw in a panic attack. All right, and you're going to see, you may see a red stick come down. Zip. And it may go up right away because there's a lot of people still there may be some below that they're going to buy. So you can see a candlestick come down and the wick come down really sharp, but goes back up. But they already created the panic. All right, and they're already set. So from that point on, they'll throw some stuff in the market to get the market to move downwards and get people to in the direction they want to. It's basically like the cowboy behind the cows. He's gonna whip you and he's gonna move you and he's gonna poke you and try or yell at you if you're a cow. Right? And they're gonna try to move the cow. And they're gonna right now they're just getting ready, though you could say, to start hurting the people in the other direction, the downward direction. All right. And I believe this is what they're getting ready for. I know, I can see from my stuff that they ran into some problems. All right, so now is the downward direction. All right. So, but like I said, they have been all morning. This is 24 hours a game with them, 24 hours nonstop. And they basically, it's almost like a wrestling match where you tag team. All right, they tag team. They run a team attack. They just tagging team. They're just tagging for one broker. Not what you can say one of these you can say manipulators to another manipulator, and one comes in, goes into the office and starts doing what he needs to do, and after so many hours he gets traded in. Another one comes in. They're 24 hours doing this stuff nonstop. All right, to them it's a joke. You're the joke to them. You're just a cow. I don't care if you're, a millionaire out there. You're still a joke to them because you're not the zillionaire. You're not the billionaire. You're just a millionaire. All right? You're just a joke for them. All right? They're the ones that got the big bucks. They're the ones that manipulate it. All this stuff. So, the thing is to figure them out. You have to be able to figure psychological warfare if you knew about psychological warfare, you probably knew more how to defeat these people and how to actually do better in stocks, and knowing about certain indicators, or knowing about certain trends, or knowing about these wedges, or head and shoulders. And you need to know psychological warfare because that's what they basically have against you. All right, it's a game to them. So here I am waiting for the next candlestick here to develop, and that one there, that one came out pretty short. And you see, I'm looking at two charts are different. Different companies, different charts. My stuff is a little stronger because it's who puts it out, but mine is looking. It's not as bad as it looks on the green one. The green one looks like it's about to dump. They look like they're about to hit us with a big one. They may end up hitting with a big dump there. All right. So it's already down there. All right. So, but again, they may end up testing again that resistance level. But maybe because it's the weekend, they don't want to get too far away, too much into playing games, and they just may dump it right there and then let us for the next six, you could say next 4 or 5 hours, just have a slow degrading time back to the 19,000, and just people like they just want there's like terrible things, and people then will have to watch it fall. And that's the way they work. So I'm waiting to see what the next candlestick is going to be here. I'll be right back. Let me take a break, and I'll be right back. Gotta drink me some soda here, or something. Give me some coffee. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Okay, we're back here again. We're back here again. Yeah. So there you go. We got the there's another developing candlestick right there, and yeah, it's heading downwards. That's what I thought. All right. So that you're gonna have is you're gonna have these develop. Now we gotta watch out because around this candlestick, it's here. It's around this time, this part you can say. You may have a long candlestick, candlestick here. You would start to develop with a long wick because it'll go down, then a wick over here will come back up. All right, this is around. It's almost like the idiotic pattern they always running. All right, and you'll see it here. We'll see it's beginning to develop here as it goes down. So it pretty much has hit that resistance that I told you earlier today. Earlier, a couple, like more than half an hour, 40 minutes ago. I told you it was hitting that resistance and it was going to come down. And that's what it's doing. And, okay, now, ooh, something interesting here has happened. Let me look, because I have to look at my stuff here. Let me see. Okay, my, this one indicator that was in the fence line, the one that I told you that I developed, it's now showing me different. It's beginning to show me a downwards. Now it's finally decided to get off the fence line. But not quite. I'm not 100% on it, but it's doing pretty good. That it's indicating downwards here. Now I told you all the other ones that I have are showing downwards, and it's exactly what's happening right now. We're looking at downwards here. They may have given up on the idea of taking on the resistance that was above them. All right. And they already got their money. They already got set up. They already set up to go ahead and go short on this. All right. They pumped it down and then put together as much money as they can, as much as buy as they can, and then they pumped it back up, made their money. They sold. Now they're going to sell and they're going to shorten. That's what they're going to do now. They're going to shorten the crypto, and they're going to make money off that. Now they're going to see how far they want to take it. They're going to take it down and maybe come down to down to around maybe 19,100, or they're going to go and try to bust the bank and try to make a new low today. All right. So we're going to see. This is something that will develop for the next couple of hours. This little thing that they're going to play now with us. All right, and it's just these. Like I tell you, if you could find these people, and you could stop them for one day, you see how different the market will look like. Because it will be only people. It will be only the regular persons investing on this. But it's them. They are manipulating it up and down. All right. So we'll see. Now we're beginning to develop. I'm thinking because a lot of times around this point, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. We're seeing a lot of times it could happen where you have, they'll throw in a panic attack. All right, it's just something to get you to panic. All right, for you to sell. All right, because they already bought. They already they're going to go short. I mean, they already got enough inventory, you could say. Well, they're going to go short. So now they just want to panic you now to sell. All right, so they make money off it. So you may see something develop here where something will be thrown in there that causes people to go short, and then you'll see this creepiness going down. All right, and see if they're going to go in search of the next level. I don't know if they're going to do it today. If they try to bring it down to a new low today. All right, though they may just end up going sideways for the rest of the week, for the rest of the weekend, and then come the week, they can play with it better because depending on what the U.S. stock market is, a lot of people have been dumping and pumping because of the stock market. They're putting money in crypto or taking it out. All right, so that's helping them out. All right, so over the weekend it's a little harder for them because now there's no stock market as a booster or as a catalyst, you could say, for them. It's not in action. So because they don't have the stock market as a catalyst in the direction they want to go to, they only have to depend on the global investor. All right, so they can enjoy the catalyst of the U.S. markets, in which they're heavily involved, and pumping and dumping. You could say playing the little games, and they already know that one inside out, and they can then use the global market for crypto, and then have a better, you could say, better way of making more money off you. It's not that they're not going to make money off you. It's them putting even more money in their pockets. It's what it is. All right. So they can get more out of you. All right. Right now on the weekend, yeah, a lot of these people got big bucks. A lot of people that work doing this stuff is got, they're making big tons of money. All right. So they want to enjoy their weekends and do their things and go to their clubs, whatever the heck they're doing, and they want to do their stuff. So they're stuck there on the weekend doing this stuff, and they just want to put it on one direction or the other direction and try to leave it there in the middle somewhere, and don't lose a lot of sleep over it, because and then come back the weekday. We have a long weekend. If you're in the United States, of course, we got the 4th of July coming up, and the market's not going to be open for the 4th of July, so that's going to give them the little extra days that they want. All right, but that's what you got seeing now. Is the cell beginning to develop here, and you're going to have you should have more candlesticks where we have cells here developing. Now I know some people out there are busting their heads. How does he know all this? Well, it is what it is, people. Excuse me. It's one of those things, man. These markets are really manipulated. I'm joining people. It's like I've been up. I'm one of those persons who don't get a lot of sleep, and I need to get some sleep. I'm gonna be. I don't know. I'll probably be out here maybe for another 30 minutes, I believe. I'm just seeing for the next couple of candlesticks where they're at. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied where it's at. I'm pretty much if you had the right amount of money when I told you that it was going to go down, all right, and that it was at that one point it was going to level off, possibly go up and then go down, you probably make some money off it, all right, if you follow it, all right, and it should be going down. But like I tell you, I'm not going to tell you what you do with your money, if you should invest or you shouldn't invest. You're just going to hear me out what I'm going to tell you. I'm like the talking indicator. Just look at it that way, like a talking indicator or something. All right, so I'm just telling you from what I see. All right, it's up to you what you do. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't know what your finances are. All right, so but you guys, the way I look at it, the way I see it is, I see it where there's still now is actually, to me, it's increases an 80% chance that it will go down. I'm never going to say 100%. That's not me. But I say at least, and that's pretty high. When I tell you 80 is pretty high, then I'm telling you it's going to go down. No, look at that. Look at that. They just did they just threw in the panic attack. You guys just threw it in. I think they just threw in the panic attack. Oh, they're beginning to throw it in. We'll see how far it goes. Because they'll throw in their panic attack. They'll throw in that long candlestick downwards or up. Whatever market, wherever they want you to go, they're going to throw in that panic attack. And a lot of times you'll know which is the panic attack because it has that long candlestick tied to it. The long wick, you could say, on it. Alright, so they may be getting already ready. Here we go. Yeah, it's coming. That's coming. That's them clowning around, throwing in their panic attack. Now people are going to see it. People are going to see the down, breaking down. It's almost like they're breaking. It's almost like at that point there. Let me see if I pull that map back up. Hang on a second. For those who are watching, because I'm watching kind of like two different charts here. But you guys are watching the green one. Let me see if I can get back on that green one. I told you guys they're going to control the panic attack, and they pretty much did it with this. They're throwing it in there. All right. And you're going to see, this is almost like a resistance level here. All right. Right about here. And they know people, here's the thing about it, is they know you're looking at this as a resistance level. Okay, they know that the thing is, they know what you're doing, all right? They're the ones that put out this information on what to look for. All right. So for them to get their panic attack going through, they're going to break through it. Okay, if you know they came up to here, they're going to break through it, and they're going to break through, and then they'll then you start panicking and start selling and selling. All right, but I think what happens around this area right here, you're going to start seeing a little bit of a little sideways type start to develop. Yeah, you see how close they're getting here. All right, because they know that you're thinking, oh, this is the resistance level. Oh my God, it's breaking through. I'm going to sell. This is what they want. It's basically what they want from you. All right, to sell. All right. So they're bouncing off it right now. They're just kind of playing with, because you know why they're bouncing off it is because people are buying. Some people actually buy. They'll buy there and they'll make it look like an actual resistance level there. All right, but at the right time they'll drop right to it. All right, so maybe fix this up a little bit. There's that long. I thought it was gonna be like a long candlestick. There it is. That's them. That's them. That's them playing that game. That's them right there playing the game. All right, right there. All right. And now you go in there and you think this. Here's another thing. It kind of brings some money for them. All right, because they'll still be buying and selling throughout this entire thing, but they got different orders for different levels. All right. And you may come in, oh, it's time to buy someone, and they're still gonna get you, because I believe they're down. They're gonna put that down trim. Let me see. They're gonna go down this way. All right. Like I said, I don't know if they're gonna bust through here. All right. This is maybe something they're preparing for the weekday, not the weekend, to bust through here. And they brought you down here, and this is to play this game with you the entire weekend. Of this up and down this entire weekend. That's what they're gonna play. All right, and get you to think, oh, you're gonna go there, and then it gets people to panic and dump. This to them is a psychological. They even tell you. Sometimes you'll hear them say this. This is a psychological support level. Yeah, because they're the ones that are doing it. They're the ones who created this psychological mind game with you. All right, they created it. So this is what they created for you. This is basically like what they created for the weekend. This one and this one. Alright, so now they're going to keep you in here. Playing games with you. Pumping and dumping, pumping and dumping, pumping and dumping. Alright, is what they're going to keep you going. So they might go over here, they dump you all the way down here, they pump it back up here, they dump it down here. And then possibly on the week, like I say, when the stock market reopens, then you may see that breakthrough here. All right. Because you got the trend. Look at the trend. Trend's been going. Look at that thing gone through. All right. See, it's hard for me to tell you exactly what happened here. I will have to have been back there and listen to some of the stuff going on. But you see where they pump you here. All right. Look where they got you all the way, up in there. All right, to get people to go back up there. All right, but that's all. Look, if you look at that, look at the long-term. What we're looking at here. All right. Oops. We're looking at this. All right, you still get this. This is where the people make money. If some of the people they will still want to buy and sell, you can make money. If you know when to get in, this is a dangerous spot right there. Now see, that was dangerous. This is dangerous. But here you see it going up and down, and look at that. That was a panic buy. Is that what that? Instead of a panic sell, a panic buy. All right, and this was probably caused by them down here somewhere. They probably put that into motion down here, and you can see this giant volume here that took off. All right, to get it, this or somebody said something. I don't know. I haven't been following it up there. So somebody may have said something here. Some report may have come out. They bounced it. Oh my God! Look, and they went. That's them doing it. Remember, they use all kind of tools to pump and dump. All right. They use the press. They use some famous people. You can say they manipulate all. They're behind the scene 24/7 on this people. All right. So let me go back here and see where we're at here. Okay, there it goes. It's beginning to bust through that resistance. The so-called resistance. Well, that's been made by them. Alright. So there you go. Once it gets around here, then you see more and more cells. And you see a candlestick possibly going to come out here. It's not going to beat this out. And you're going to see this. There it is. I told you it was going to come out there. Just when I was telling you it was going to come out around here, that's exactly what it did. And then you're going to start seeing the downslope. And this will continue to downslope. But here's the thing. For the rest of the week, for the rest of the next 6 hours, they'll be playing games there. Possibly. That's what they're going to play, is play games there. Like I said, they may leave this alone. It's all what they decide, what they want to do. If they want to, because they know they created this as a psychological. It's almost like psychological warfare against you. All right, so they know that people are all talking about this, about going if it goes under 19,000, because they already went over they went under already the 20,000. Now it's at 19, so they play this psychological warfare for you. All right, while they're doing this in here, between here and here. They're playing the mind game with you, and they're pumping and dumping, pumping and dumping, pumping. They're buying low, they're selling high, and they're buying low. It's all they're selling. Either they're going long or they're going short, but it's all within this range for them. And they're pumping and dumping you as they're playing a game with you, up and down, up and down. And it goes on for a while until they decide on what they're going to do on here. All right, and then they'll make their move. Before they go through here, they're going to possibly make another move to make money. So they may end up, before they end up going through here. Let's see if I can move one of my little lines here. Alright, before they go through here and bust through this, go into the 18 and make it a permanent home, you could say. Alright, they may end up pulling it up here. Not past this. They may not go beyond that. This might have been it. But they may do it again. Because here's the thing about it. People are expecting this. They know there's a resistance, and now they're expecting this is going to come back a couple times. So they know that. So they may get up here, get started with a lot more short positions, you could say. Load up on short positions when they pump it up, because right now they're pumping you down. They're going to pump up with a whole bunch of short positions. And around Monday, wow, they bust through on the 18. They go through the 18. They sold, they come out here and they sell. They start to sell. But they're going to be doing this little game. Boom, 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 boom. This could go on all the way down here, all these shorts. Because we're looking at Monday down in this direction here. This is the third. And still got a while to go down there. So they're going to be playing, and then when they decide, they'll push through the 18. They might even come down here and go through the 18, and they'll bounce back up and go through the 18 a little bit more, bounce back up, because they know you have been taught for a very long time. For those people that take these educational classes on stock markets, you've been taught by them. I'm telling you, you've been taught by them that it could bounce 1 or 2 times before it breaks through, and that could go that way or that way. This is something they train you. It's like training a cat, training a dog, you could say. And they've been training you on this thing. All right. So they know it. So they only came down here one time. They came here how many times? Let me see how many times they've been down here. They train you to understand that it's the third time. It's like the third or fourth time there will be a breakthrough, or it will give up and go completely the other way. So they are right now. Let me see. It seems like they're there one time. Let me say, they're there 2 times already. All right. So they've been there like 2 times already. Third time. So they got you trained for this. They got a lot of people already trained for this. Third time. All right. So they're going to maybe keep this up, and this will be the third time. If they go through the 18, that will be the third time. And the third time is a lot of time for them. The third time is the time that they're going to continue to go and then start creating a new floor down here, okay, my mind, I'm thinking of falling asleep. They'll create a new area here where you a new support. They'll create a new support down here below the 18. And then at that time, they take a long dinner break, lunch break, whatever they want. They'll take whatever they want to go out in Tahiti, whatever, and then they'll decide on how they're going to bring it down from there. All right? Because it's the game they're playing. Now you say, are they always going to bring it down? We don't know. That's all the same. It all depends on how they're going to play this, because they could then give up and they say, okay, look, we really screwed. We already made tons of money. Let's now lift it all the way up here and make it believe that we're going to the moon. Let's put out some news. Let's put up some stuff, and then once we get it all the way up there again, we'll dump it again. All right. So if they're out here to destroy, if they're actually out to demolish Bitcoin, you may see it going down to 5,000. You know. And then at that point, it could actually just become one of those things that trades for a long time within a very, very nowhere near what it used to be. And as time goes on, more and more people will forget about it and go on to other type of investment vehicles, and it will just become irrelevant later. I was like, nah, nobody cares about it no more. All right. Now they feel like it still has momentum. The problem is they know that they're by them pulling this stunt. They know that a lot of people are being turned off by it, and a lot of the investors won't go back to it. All right. So they will stay there as long as they got investors who still want to put money into Bitcoin. They'll still pump it and dump it. And once they realize there's nothing more there for them, they'll stabilize it at a certain rate and leave it there. All right. And then they'll still trade some of it, but they'll move on to other things. All right. It's a big game for them, people. We're not in the world you think you are. When it comes to money and finances and all these stock markets and all these people that trade, all that, that's not what you think it is. It's something totally different. All right. So here we go. Let me see where we're at here. All right, there you go. They just stay left. Let me just see if I can get rid of this. I'll get rid of that one there. So there you go. Now you see now, this is the thing they're going to do. Now they're going to get in here. And this is where I'm going to right now end this broadcast. I already told you what's going to happen. There's going to be a downfall here. It ran into resistance out here, and now you see it. Now I'm going to tell you what's next. The game. The weekend game is here. Up and down. Pumping and dumping. Okay, this is what they do. Alright, and then actually they may end up saving the true breakdown, the one below the time that it's going to bust through, because they already done, like I said, they have taught people, the people that go to these seminars, they have been taught that if it hits like 3 times the resistance or the support level, there's going to be a breakthrough. They teach you like a dog. All right. So already that's the third. This is the second time. So now the third time they know that people are waiting for. So before they get to the third time, they want to make some money off. They want to be able to set themselves up for a drop, for a short call. So they're going to take as much short contracts because they're as much short they can, much money as they can put into it for short before they go and they drop it through, because they know that once you drop it through here, then you see the big panic, and they'll create that panic. So knowing that they're going to make a killing on that, huge amount of money. All right, they're going to make on that, and then they'll stabilize it down there, and then you may not see the recovery of going back here again, or you may see some wild stuff like it happened a while ago where they went all the way up. But that's them still playing games. So we'll see what happens here. As you can see now, it's going to go up a bit. And I told you I told you a while ago, they may even come back here and challenge this resistance is out here, and to get you to believe that it touched it 2 times, and then the third time is going to bust through. All right, maybe they'll bust it 2 third time just so they can make more what's this called? Get enough more shorts. So when they do come back down here, they're going to make a big bundle of money. All right. So the way you got it now is that's where you have. It's almost like you have to be an investor who's not investing for the long term. You're just getting in, making some money, and getting out. And this is why the market's so screwed up. There's no more of these investors are out there. A lot of these people, long term investors are. They're the ones who created this atmosphere of buying and selling really fast. Today you could have made some money, and but right now they're like almost in the middle. My indicator, all right, and they could go almost in any direction right now because they already went down like I thought they were going to go, but it still could go down, but there'll be probably a bounce, like I said, down here. There's going to be a bounce, and they're going to pump it back up, and this whole thing is moving, and it's kind of like moving The whole enchilada or the resistance. I'm gonna put you more or less where the resistance may be moving right now. It's moving around here. It's not even moving that close to that. Actually, it's moving around here. Alright. And this is like around here. So it's in this box. This is where you see this game going on. It's still a downward trim, but you can see the box. Now, like I said, it's in the middle. Alright. And it could come down here, and then it'll bounce back up. Play around. It could come back up here, bounce back around. Alright. And then later on, like I said, it could be by Tuesday. Then they'll decide if they're gonna break through. Or they could do it over the weekend. They could actually break in through the weekend. But a lot of this decision for these kind of breakthroughs is gonna come from their top dogs, you could say. If they're gonna allow it to sit there and then break it through in the weekend to use the U.S. stock market to make more money. So that's going to be up to the top. And it's because it is a long weekend and some people may be on holidays, they may hold off on the decision of breaking through until after the weekend. Alright. Unless you got somebody who doesn't have much to do and him or she, whatever, decides that it's better just to break through. And just take them down, you could say. Alright. So we'll see what happens on this. Alright. So that's what you're looking at right there. That's basically in a nutshell. You're going to see this. It's probably go up a little bit here, come back down here, a little bit here, come back down here. But maybe never through here. Alright. And you have this motion. And then when you, like I say, when you get up there, and you may have it all a bit sideways here for a while. Until it comes next week. And then they decide what they want to do. And volume has been up. And volume goes down. That's them playing this game on there. So we're keeping an eye on it. I don't know if I'll be doing anything with Bitcoin next week coming up. I might do some of the stuff in the market as far as the some of the companies and stuff on there. And we'll see what happens. And I'll do some if you guys want to follow me, I mean, I'm out here right now on my first broadcast and there's nobody here. As I'm talking to you right now, there was nobody on here. So I'm talking to you because I know people are going to see the archive of this video. And later on, maybe people will see it and see what happened through all this. It's almost like I don't know how to put it. It's almost like I feel bad that so many people have missed out on what I said today about this. You know, that they don't, and this is what I want to do. I want to be able to come out here and somehow begin to build the subs I need. Enough subs and followers for people to start to realize what they're really into when they enter the stock market, into any markets, what they're really facing. All right, and then cryptocurrency has made it really easy for these people to operate. All right, and they're not dealing with the public. They're dealing with huge institutions and very powerful, extremely rich banks, you could say. And some people even say the Illuminatis. All right, you're dealing with money, big money here, and big manipulations. And you can look at me. I've used some of my indicators, but I also use. I'm talking to you at the same time about the psychological effects on what they may be thinking and what they're thinking you're thinking. And then you're seeing the moves of what I'm saying. You're seeing that as I'm talking, things are moving in the direction I tell you it's going to move. If I didn't know nothing about this market, if I'm just an idiot looking for the heads and shoulder or the wedge or whatever the deal is, I will be giving you a whole different thing. And at the end, you didn't get it. It just didn't happen. I'm able to follow. I'm able, in some ways, people like me, I'm dangerous to them because I'm ahead of their game. I've seen too much of their game, you could say, and I'm just like a step in front of them. I can be a step in front of them. All right, well, you're not thinking in that direction. You're thinking in your way, the way they want you to think. They trained you. They have been training you for people that go into these courses, these investment courses, and all this. You're being trained like a dog. You're basically being trained to lose your money. Is what you're being trained. Alright? So you follow some things and you maybe make a little bit of money here and there, but in the long run they know that you will end up losing everything. The odds are on the house. They're like Las Vegas or like these big casinos, alright, where the odds are in favor of them to win. And for you, even if you win, you end up playing it back and you lose it. That's the way they play. They have been playing for years. Alright? And now because of all this huge amount of data that we have that's available, you could say, wow. They have everything on you. And their manipulation has gone through the roof in the last 7 years, you could say, on how to manipulate people in these markets. And they're making major dumps and pumps. The housing market, they're tearing it apart. All right. Moving the price of housing through the roof, and then all of a sudden coming to dump the prices of the house so they can then buy up again and then move it back up again. I mean, they all over the place in all type of industries, in all type of sessions, in all type of areas. There's no end to them. Their greed, there's no end to their greed. All right, there's just no end to it. And people are caught in between this volatility that's really gone psycho. You know, it's like, and then some, young people get into it, and there was a bull market. I mean, bull market, and they were happy as crap, and all their money's going up, and I was saying, boom, they all jumped off the building. Now they're down there in the dumps. How much of these people are in their, you could say, 20s all the way going up into like their mid-30s? These people, they jump in there, don't know anything about a freaking bear market. Didn't realize how they were being pumped up. And they were being warned, you're being pumped up. But the old folks, the old timers, try to warn them, you're being pumped, man. You're being taken up to the moon so they can dump you. And now you see the dumping happening. That's why the bear market has gone on so long as it's gone. This is the longest running bear market, I think, in the history of the U.S. stock market. It's because it was a long bull market, and now it's a long bear market because they're dumping. They're dumping all those people. All those people, their accounts are being wiped out. It doesn't mean it's going to be like that always. No, they're going to get it to a point where they're going to realize enough is enough, and they're going to have to slow down on the greed, and they're going to say, we'll keep going. We're going to destroy it. We're going to destroy ourselves. We're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. So they're going to come back and start buying to start setting up the new pumping period of the market, to get ready for later on for another dump. Remember, they're making money both ways. All right? But you're not ahead of the game. You're way behind the game. They're way in front of you, several moves. All right? So you're just trying that. You need to figure psychological warfare. Figure that one out. You might be better off than figuring out indicators. Or some of the stuff that they put out there. So anyway, that's what you're going to see. You see it happening there. Now, I told you it's probably going to be some small ones. There are going to be some ups and downs. And this is going to continue there. You're going to continue this up and down here. Going. And it's going to go, but I don't think it's going to go down. You may actually see a big spike around here somewhere. An upward spike. All right. I don't think it's going to beat the top here. And this one was already made. It already ran into that one. So you're going to see it like in this area. You may see one actually come up to this line here. And maybe even break through it, but it'll come back down. And that would just be ready to go into possibly Monday. Not Monday, but Tuesday. And like I said, if they dump it here, it's because maybe they had not much to do. But I think this is all going to settle below 19,000. This is probably for next week. Is what they're playing. Right now on the weekend, they're just going to make money off you by pumping and dumping. All right, so we'll see what happens. But let me go back to my other one before I close here. I want to look at my other indicator before I get off of here. There was my other indicator. So I can tell you what's up, because the other one, this one doesn't have the stuff that I have. My stuff that's like here. This is only I'm using it as the green one. I use it as something to translate my other one, to put some stuff in it. But I don't. The other one doesn't. I don't put that out there. I don't want to give these people an edge on what I do. Hang on one second. Okay. Oh, cool. I'm glad I went to see it. I'm so glad I went to see that indicator. Because I haven't seen it. I have it in my other thing. I wasn't looking at it. You're going to have a hole. It's going to hold right there. Let me go back to the green one and I'll try to explain to you what's going to happen now. Yeah, I'm glad it is because I wasn't paying it. I wasn't looking at it. Here. Let me see. Right here. Move these out of here. Yeah, it looks like they have put in the resistance in here. And this right here, in the zone right here. So this resistance here. Actually, it's closer than that. It's in here. It's getting right up to it. This is where you had a small little bounce, because it's moving into a resistance zone right around. Let me see if I can move this up here. Right around here. I'm not going to tell you if it's going to be up and down, but it's right around. I'll just put it in the middle because it may go up either way, but it's not a little bit this way, a little bit that way. But it's right in this area. This is why you have this move. That's them. Alright. So you may see a bounce here. You may see a bounce in the next no, that's why I told you they could be making some money out here, because you may see a bounce here in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, an upward bounce, upward bounce, where it moves up. All right. Now I don't know if it's going to actually beat out this here, the resistance up here, but you have a on the bottom here, alright, it's beginning to build up an area of which is going to hold. Okay, and they're doing this here. Alright, it's happening right here. Alright, so you're going to see, I don't think it's going to it may bust a little bit through, but it's going to be, now they're building it up in here. Alright, I think they're going to build it up here and then take it down. Or take it down a little bit and then build it up more and then take it down. And it'll be more like one of these going up, and then comes down more and then a little bit up, then down more. But it all within a movement of going down. But right now, this is a resistance. We're looking at there's a resistance has been built right here. Alright. You guys don't see what I got because I don't show that here, but there's actually resistance right here. My stuff is showing here, and this is a good one. All right, so we're showing a possible upward motion here. This is only short time. If you're gonna, if I go into this, if I was gonna go into this right now, it's to buy and get out really fast. All right. This is when you come in with the big bucks, and you're gonna make, you come in there with $10, you're not going to make anything. But you know what I mean. You go in there with, like 50,000, 100,000, whatever the deal is, and you're going to make you'll make some money. Yeah. But then you may, but it's not like a big giant bunch of money, but you make something up. All right. That's for those people, the big heavy hitters. All right. You got this right here developing. So you're gonna see you see the upper motion already happening. Like I told you, look at that. I have this on top of it already. You can see the upper motion already developing. You may see the next candlesticks in here, and up in this way, because it has hit a resistance that I see down here on one of my stuff that it hits. And this one is pretty good. This one indicator. Let me go look at my other one, and I'll tell you more or less if that's going to hold or not. I was about to get off, and I told you I was going to play games in here. But this, and this one here, this is something that I should have looked at it. I could tell you, it's an easy one. It's an easy one to figure out. All right, and it's pretty much I've been telling you it's going to do one of these, and there it is. It popped up. The resistance just popped up in there. Let me go look. Where in the heck am I? I lost my stuff here. Alright, hang on a second. Because I want to see how long that might last. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's hitting that resistance level I told you. And, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's going to... It's actually, it's just ranging right now. Sideways range, that's what you got. Alright. But. Yeah, yep. That's what it's going to do. It's going to basically sideways range. It's going to stay within that range. Possibly for the next hour or two. Maybe like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's going to start ranging. Alright. And you may see, here's one that you may see here. Let me go back to the green chart, because you don't see my chart. You may see a wedge. For you guys, for you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright. Hang on a second. Oops. Let me go. I got the wrong one here. Hang on. Alright, here's what you might see here. Alright, as it starts playing this game that they're playing. And they know you're doing this. They know that this is what you're looking at. So we have to keep that in mind. There you go. So what you may see here, let me see if I can get another one here. Is what you may see here is this kind of deal. Alright. I'm trying to get the next one. I'm trying to get the G. Let's put it like that. So what you may see here is this kind of stuff here. Alright. It's what you may see in the next couple of hours here. Alright, you'll see this here running. It's running into this resistance, but you may see this one wedge. Remember, they know you're looking at the wedge. Alright, so this right here, this becomes critical. As your wedge begins to get this area, and I'm not talking about right here in the little tip, no, I'm talking about this area in general. It begins to become critical. This is where they're going to start sending it. And because this has been in a downtrend, there's a good possibility it's going to be I will put it about 70% chance. It will be another down. They will pull it back down here. Alright, and then start maybe even another wedge in here. But they'll pull it down here, and they'll again start again playing games here. But it'll be coming down here, but they'll probably pull it down. Is what they're going to do. Alright. So this is what they do. See, this is for you. This here is for you. This is here for the general public to look at. And then there'll be people up there thinking, well, this is a wedge, and it's going to go up to the sky. It's going to go in that direction. Yeah, the trend's been down, and they're playing a joke. I don't know if they're going to bust through that, because they know that the support levels are going to move up, and money's going to come in behind them, and they already done a lot of work in getting it down. I remember the whole thing is they're moving it down right now. They're pumping it down. That's what you say. They get that money behind them, and it makes them harder for them to start moving up, and they'll start the whole game where it just prolongs the game for them. It's about making money, but it's also about screwing around. What's the thing? So that's what you got going there. Yeah. See if I can get rid of that. So you'll see it here. The support's down here and the support's up here, but you see like a bit of a wedge being developed here. Alright, and then you're going to have the situation, when it gets up to here, then you have a situation what they want to do. Alright, they may bring it up here a little bit just to scare people, and then they'll bring it down. Alright, so this is where it's at right now. This is where you had this bounce on there. So we'll see what happens here. Alright. And we'll take it from there. On this. Okay. There it is. You see that right there happening? Okay, that's just gonna happen. And you're gonna see this here. All right, starts to develop, and then this is when it comes. And here they'll may end up playing the game. They may end up going up here, just to get people to buy because they're gonna remember they want to buy high when they're gonna go short. So they're gonna buy high to go short. So they may cause a little panic here. Not as actually as it's a buy panic. It's to get people to buy something along these lines. Get people to think they're gonna go up, and then they will buy. They will start getting as much as they can so they can then go short, and then they'll push it down this way. They're still going to make money today. They're going to make money. That's just because they're not down here doesn't mean they're making money. They're trading in a huge amount of range, in millions and millions and millions of dollars all at one time, right? And they're making tons of money as they push, as they pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump throughout the entire thing. But the general motion is downward. And this is what they're going to take, but they're going to pump and dump, pump and dump and dump. That's the way it goes. So that's the way it is on all this. I think for today, we're done here. I've done a couple of hours, I believe here. And if you guys like to support this kind of stuff and you like what I'm talking and all this stuff, please donate to the channel. It'll be great. All right. So you have a great weekend. If you're in the U.S., of course, have a good 4th of July. Everybody out there, don't drink and drive. Stay away from that. And keep yourself out of trouble. And we're going to keep on looking at all this stuff. And hopefully I'll be back here. Maybe I'll be back here tomorrow and do some more stuff on here having to do with this. And as this is my first video. And then I don't understand why people are not here live today. Because, nobody's got the... I need to get supporters. A lot of supporters on here. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, thank you guys. You guys have a great one. And I will see you. Bye-bye now. Okay.